Live. Right. So we are live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram.
Hooray!
Hooray!
All the things.
I know. And I've been missing in action for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, because I had shoulder surgery. I really thought I prided myself on my high tolerance for pain. And I'm like, oh, I have a high tolerance for pain. I'm going to be back up and running after my shoulder surgery that weekend. Yeah, that's not what happened. And apparently I'm a huge wuss.
It's amazing.
Because that kicked my butt and I just had to concentrate on my job. I'm like, okay, I just got to do my actual job, my work. And then everything else kind of went by the wayside. So but I do want to introduce you to Bryn. Hello. So Bryn and I actually have a podcast. It's totally different than my Family Tech Talk podcast, which I also have.
It is.
It is called Series Scrapped. And what's so much fun about our podcast is that we recap the episodes of TV shows that were canceled
before their time.
And
you get the benefit of all of our commentary on each episode, which is good stuff.
And we do go off on tangents quite frequently.
Yes, we do. Which is normal for our everyday conversation.
It's true. So Bryn and I, we have very similar tastes and different tastes, all at the same time, which is so much fun. She loves really old movies and old school stuff like that. I'm a big 90s person,
Yes, 90s is also really good.
Yeah. I'm we have a lot of overlap for sure. But yes, so we have a lot of fun because we're both super, pop culture buffs. Yes. So that's why we're able to go off on tangents, because we can riff off of each other. Oh yeah, in this show and in this show, and then
yes.
And this is the same as this.
And we speak fluent movie quotes.
Yes. So, and I want to give a little shout out to Bryn's t-shirt. Rest in peace.
It's all wrinkled.
Rest in peace, Power Ranger.
We love you.
We love you. So anyway, having said all of that, Bryn has a super cool announcement at the end of this broadcast. So
stay tuned.
You want to check that out because it is awesome. If you're not following her business, Austin University, on Instagram, Facebook, things like that.
Twitter and TikTok,
Austin University. Check it out. Especially if you like Jane Austen, you will adore what she's got going on. But to get into the meat of what we're talking about today, we are talking about streaming services.
Yes.
Because there's so many.
And they've become more of a staple in our society since COVID.
Definitely.
So.
And everybody's got their own, Paramount Plus and Disney Plus and Peacock and all of the things. And so people get a little bit of subscription overload or fatigue. Subscription fatigue.
I like that. Subscription fatigue. Yes. And that's easy to come to.
So, there's all these subscriptions. It's why am I paying for all these subscriptions when I had cable that was the same price?
Yeah.
Because I'm paying for all these subscriptions. So we're going to help you narrow it down.
Yeah.
And then we also want to help you know what to watch.
Yes.
And that's a podcast we've been kind of playing around with too, is basically to take this, what we're going to do today, and do it monthly or weekly.
Yes.
Where we're telling you what's good to watch on the different streaming services. So do we want to talk about the streaming services themselves first, or what's good to watch first? What do you think?
I think we can kind of mix it in. So I think if we talk about each streaming service and what's good on each streaming service.
Yes, that's a great idea.
That might be.
Yeah. Do you have a preference of where we start?
I don't.
You don't? And if you have any questions about any streaming services or any pop culture questions, really, we could probably answer it. Just go ahead and pop those in the comments. Somebody on Instagram literally just ended 8 subscriptions.
Oh my gosh. Good for you.
Yeah. That's so many.
You were paying way too much.
8 subscriptions. That is crazy. I'm glad you narrowed it down. Oh, I'd love to know what you ended up picking, or if you've just ended all of them.
Yeah, did you end all of them? Taking a little time out.
She's like, that's it. I'm over. They're done. I'm not doing any more streaming.
I watched everything we're watching on these, and we're done.
Yeah. So where do we want to start?
We can start with the bigger ones, like we can start with Netflix.
Yeah, let's start with Netflix.
Netflix is one that my kids really enjoy.
Good to know.
And my husband will watch anything. My husband is a video editor, and he will watch a lot of stuff while he edits. I don't personally feel like you can watch something for the first time that way.
Yeah.
But that is how we watched Gilmore Girls, and I feel like with Gilmore Girls, there's less visual stuff happening.
Sure.
Anymore.
Yeah,
so I guess that makes sense. But
yeah, nice background noise.
Yeah, he'll watch anything. He'll turn on.
Yeah,
and then he'll be like, I just went through this whole series, and I'm like, oh my god. Okay.
Like, how'd you do that?
Yeah. He went through all the Star Treks. Those are on Netflix. Okay,
wait. Side note, she kept Disney Plus, Paramount, and HBO, and Netflix and Hulu. What did you get rid of? Because that is a lot. If you got rid of 8 and you kept 5.
That is a lot of services.
That is a lot of services. Hats off to you.
Hope you got rid of CW.
You should be on this podcast or this episode with us, because I feel like
it feels like you've been around those those subscriptions as well.
Yes, for sure. All right, keep going with Netflix. So
you're fine.
We've got Netflix.
So my husband has gone through all the Star Treks.
Star Trek. Good.
I love Next Gen. I haven't finished TOS. He really wants me to watch. I can't remember which one. James Darren. But I'm a really big fan of James Darren, and he was a Moondoggy in the Gidget movies, if you are familiar. And he's a singer for like a whole season or 2 on one of the Star Trek shows. So he was like, you have to watch this one.
Yeah.
As far as their originals go, I won't say we. My husband loves Stranger Things.
I also love Stranger Things.
I suffered through Stranger Things until season 3, and then I was like every episode I could not. The gore was so intense. I could not get through it. And I've heard season 4 is better gore-wise, but I
don't know.
A little bit of trust issues with Stranger Things. So.
Gore-wise, I don't think so.
You don't think it's better? Good to know.
No, it might even be worse.
Okay.
Because that villain is pretty creepy. And the way he kills people
gross.
is like very traumatic.
I don't like it. And you know what? Also, I'm a little mad about Billy. So
well, who isn't mad about Billy?
I think there was redeemable qualities there. And you know what? That's a terrible trend in movies right now.
Yeah, getting rid of
people who are totally redeemable. Like, excuse me, did we need that? No, we did not. It's a terrible trend. I hate it. Yeah, looking at you, Marvel.
Well, and Stranger Things made me upset when they got rid of Sean Astin.
Yes, then that was so sad because Sean Astin is everybody's favorite.
I know, right? Love Sean Astin. Oh, but speaking of Sean Astin, so there's like a meme or something. It was like, imagine only knowing Sean Astin from like Stranger Things or something like that. Yeah. And then like people are like, or like only knowing him from, Lord of the Rings or whatever. And I'm like,
Goonies. Hello. Do the 80s mean nothing to you people?
Right. But that leads me to believe, so Ethan Hawke, his daughter is in Stranger Things.
Yes.
And she's Robin in Stranger Things.
And she's great.
Great. And so Ethan Hawke, he was talking like on some talk show or whatever, that he was out with his daughter, and like they were going out doing something or whatever. And some guy came out, he's like, oh, hey, and he's like, hey, sorry, I'm with my daughter. And the guy's like, oh, not you.
When your child surpasses you in fame, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So he's like, so we've reached that point in my life where I'm like Maya Hawke's dad.
Oh man.
Instead of Ethan Hawke.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So Stranger Things, fantastic. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I agree with your husband on this one.
We love Lost in Space.
Oh, okay, good. I actually have not watched that one.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And the original is like if you grew up with it, it's like nostalgia, but like the old one is
iffy.
Yeah, the old one is iffy. I love it, but I see why people don't. But yeah, the new one is really, really good. They've done a really good job with it, and it's really, really clean. Which is so it's something you can kind of watch as a family, which there's not a lot of that right now.
Not a ton. Yeah, I agree.
Netflix. I've been wanting to watch Emily in Paris.
That's actually really cute. I watched it, not family friendly.
Good to know.
Yeah. But it is very cute. I did like Emily in Paris. Season 2 is good too. I don't know if I'm going to end up watching season 3. So I get to that point where like I'll watch a couple seasons of a show and I'm really into it. But then when the next season comes out, I've like completely lost interest. So that happened to me with The Crown. Like I loved the first 2 seasons of The Crown. And then by the time season 3 came out, I was like, I'm good.
It's such a problem for me. I can't start TV shows while they're still running. Like it's really better if I wait till they're canceled. People are like, this is such a good show. It only has 1 season, and I'm all, come back to me when it's canceled. Like,
and if it's only 1 season, then I can do my podcast on it.
I can add it to my podcast. But the thing is, it's just like if I watch, a season or 2, and then I have to wait another year for the season to come out.
Yeah,
I've moved on emotionally.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's exactly.
I put that story in the back of my mind, and I no longer care about those people.
Yeah.
So
that's how I feel about Emily in Paris. Like I feel like by the time the next season comes out, I will have lost interest.
There are a few TV shows that I rewatch.
Yes.
But the ones I've rewatched the most are like Gilmore Girls, Charmed, Lois and Clark.
Yeah. We're both big fans of Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark from the 90s. Not
Yes.
The newer one.
The Terry Hatcher, Dean Cain version.
Yeah.
Both super fans of that.
Yes.
Also on Netflix, Cobra Kai.
Oh, I need to watch that. I adore that one guy, and I don't remember his name right now. I'm gonna look it up, even though we're live.
Oh, it's fine. We can do that. Yeah, Cobra Kai.
I really want to watch it. I just haven't made the time to do it.
I watched Cobra Kai when it was still just a YouTube original. Like, because it started out as a YouTube
Tanner
original.
Buchanan. That's his name.
Yes. Super cute. But yeah, so I originally watched Cobra Kai when it was a YouTube original. And I was like, this is way better than it has any right to be.
That's what everyone said about it. Yeah, there's a reason it just exploded. Yeah.
Way better than it has any right to be. It's so good. And then Netflix picked it up like after season, I think 2 or 3. And sometimes when Netflix picks up a show, I'm looking at you, Arrested Development. Looking at you, Arrested Development. When Netflix picks up a show like that, it kind of, but
it's hit or miss.
Yeah. But with Cobra Kai, it's still as good as ever.
That's great.
Yeah. You totally need to watch Cobra Kai if you've got Netflix. So, anything else on Netflix that?
Fuller House is good. My husband totally recommends Squid Game.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that.
I didn't watch Squid Game, and he doesn't think I would like it, so I didn't watch it. But my husband is really into almost anything. Like,
almost anything.
He's really not hard to please. He gets that from his dad. His dad is even harder to not please. Like we will go see a movie, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I loved it," but this and this and this. I'm under the impression that you can't have a perfect movie. There's going to be something wrong in every movie, and that's okay. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, but then this and this and this bothered me. And my father-in-law is always like, just really loved it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong.
I love that he's just so positive about it.
That's
so funny.
adorable.
He's just like, I don't know. I just had a good time.
That's so adorable.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing on Netflix, and this is actually going to be true of basically every service at this point, is they've followed Hallmark's lead and are creating their own Christmas movies.
Yes, and they started off real strong with the Christmas Prince. And there were all those
Oh, right.
good memes about the 40 accounts or whatever that had watched Christmas Prince like 40,000 times or something. Did you see that?
No.
The year that the Christmas Prince came out, there were all these memes that there was like a handful of Netflix accounts, but the views on Christmas Prince were like 40,000 or something, and it was like, to those 40 accounts, who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
Like amazing.
That's hilarious.
So they started off real strong.
Yeah,
with the
Christmas Prince is cute, and I love that actress. Like, iZombie is one of my favorite shows.
I have not watched iZombie.
Oh, you totally need to watch.
But I do like her.
Rose McGiver, yeah, love her. But yeah, Christmas Prince this year, they've got Lindsay Lohan. Last year, Brooke Shields and Carrie Elways. Like, they're pulling out all the stops for these like original Christmas movies.
I just love Carrie Elways.
Yeah, Carrie. Like, if you haven't watched Castle for Christmas and you've got Netflix,
it's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, you gotta check that one out because that one's good. And then the new one from Lindsay Lohan this year.
Yes, we did just watch that the other day.
Together, yes. So I am a huge like Christmas movies aficionado. I love I do have limits. I will like the one I watched today, not that great, but like
I didn't even finish one that I started.
I can't not
Christmas
finish it.
Wedding Planner or something. And I keep thinking I need to go back and finish it, but I keep being like, it was kind of boring.
Yeah. In that case, sometimes I will fast forward to the end sometimes.
That makes sense.
Yes, but I
do you
will
get better later on? Do you?
I know, do you? Yeah, there's a couple, like especially last year. I don't think I've really fast forwarded through any yet this year. There's a couple that I probably should have. I'm gonna go with which one did I really, really hate?
You should have put some really angry marks.
I should put I have a list because like all the new Christmas movies. Anyway.
There's hearts by the ones she likes.
There is hearts by the ones.
So there should be like angry eyes or something next to
I agree.
Maybe like a little skull.
Oh yeah. Royal Christmas on Ice. Royal Christmas on Ice from
good.
Great American Family. No. That was a hard pass for me. I was like, oh my gosh. Like it was like I was fast forwarding through the commercials and I'm like, I'm only at the like second commercial break? Like why is this movie lasting forever?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Netflix, and then like our friend who had the 1 billion subscriptions, she said that she has learned that she can cancel different services and then reactivate them when the new season of something that she wants to watch comes out.
That's genius.
I have a friend who does this, and this is actually a really great strategy to overcome this like subscription fatigue. So my friend will like sign up for Netflix for like 2 months, watch everything that she wants to watch for that, and then cancel that, sign up for something else, because there's really no incentive. And this is what boggles my mind. There's no incentive to keep your subscription because if they're going to change the price, they change the price for everybody. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, like, because I've had subscriptions.
You're not grandfathered in.
Right, where I've kept the subscription only because I'm grandfathered into a lower price.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that forces me to keep it because I'm like, ooh, if I cancel, then I'm going to be at that. Like, I'm going to have to get that at a higher price. But none of these places do that, which is really surprising to me. And, like, why I think, they should. Like they shouldn't just keep increasing prices for everybody. They should increase prices for new subscribers. And then that gives people an incentive to keep that subscription. But right now there's no incentive.
I honestly feel like we're in this weird phase with streaming services where they are still trying to find their footing like Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah.
Took 2-3 seasons to really find their footing.
And we've talked about this in our podcast.
They did.
Like who's the one who powered through that?
Yeah.
And
who were these first few people who were like, maybe second season is better. Maybe third season will get good. Because so many people will tell me, I've seen it now, but so many people would come up to me and say, you just have to make it through the first 3 seasons. And I was like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Like, How long did you suffer through that TV show? Like, there are some TV shows where you suffer through the first few episodes or maybe the first season, but like 3 seasons is a long time to push through.
I swear this show is gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
That is dedication.
That is dedication.
Right.
We've talked about this on our podcast a few times.
Yes,
it's like,
we have.
who are these people?
Who are these people
that are just like pushing through and they're like, oh,
I'm
now
sure this
it's
is gonna
good.
get better. This is a really good premise. I'm sure they'll finally get their footing.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I think we're good with Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we going next?
Let's do Hulu.
Okay, Hulu. I love Hulu. And I'm going to say, like, I'm not going to save this spoiler for the end. Hulu is the one that I would pick if I could only choose one. I actually pay for Hulu Live. So,
Wow.
so that's like
So you're fancy.
but like, if you want live TV, there's options. There's YouTube TV. Like, we can go through these too. But I love Hulu Live because I love Hulu as a rule. Like,
Sure.
and then what Hulu's got too is the Disney Plus, ESPN Plus package.
And we get all that with our phone plan.
Oh, look at you.
Hey.
Fancy Bryn.
I know. We get Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah.
And I think we get some kind of deal on Apple TV too. I don't know. It's
some
kind of whole thing. And I was like, okay, great.
Yeah. So I love Hulu. I love the Hulu originals. I love the live TV with Hulu, and I can, record live TV and everything like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And Hulu just got Hallmark and Lifetime and all of that. So now Hulu is a complete package, because before I was supplementing my Hulu with a Friendly TV subscription.
Oh, okay.
Because Friendly TV gave me all my Hallmark channels.
Yeah.
But now that Hulu has all of them, I am going to be canceling.
So that's on Hulu Live?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
because I do have a Hallmark channel subscription.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that kind of is crappy. Like, it doesn't have all like the newer stuff.
Yeah, I haven't checked in a while.
Oh.
I meant to cancel it like a year ago. I think I've just been paying for it forever. But it's only like $6. It's really like one of the cheapest ones. So I've been like, oh yeah, I really should cancel that.
That's
but I
fine.
don't remember my login.
Well, there's that.
It's not really an excuse. I really should just figure out my login.
But yeah, so I love Hulu subscription. What do you like on Hulu?
Okay. Hulu has some good old stuff. They have, I think, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is a classic.
They have a lot of good old stuff.
Yeah, they have a lot of good old stuff. But newer stuff, they had Single Parents only has 2 seasons, and it got canceled because the second season ended right after COVID hit. And I think that's such a shame. It was such a good show.
Yeah.
And the whole cast was amazing. There's a little girl who's in it who's fantastic. And she's in Slumberland, the new Netflix movie.
Oh, yeah.
And she's in Spirited.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but
she's also in Spirited.
She's
She's very, very talented. Anyway, it's
Spirited. Can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Her name is Marlo Barkley. All the children on Single Parents were amazing. So it's just a group of single parents who all have kids in the same second grade class or whatever.
Oh, cute.
First grade. I don't
remember
when
it starts. A lot of single parents for second grade.
It's just no, there's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they all hang out and support each other, and it's just very funny, and I love it.
Cute.
Also on Hulu, Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's Creek is so good. Isn't Schitt's Creek also on Netflix? Like, do they?
Yeah. So Schitt's Creek wasn't made by a studio, so I think they have a deal with several distributors.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that one yet, get on that for sure.
Eugene Levy and Dan Levy.
Oh, so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah Levy's in it too.
Yes. Honestly, the whole cast of Schitt's Creek is great.
Yeah.
They also have Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars. Yes.
And while we highly recommend you just stop before the new Hulu season, don't put yourself through that.
You can watch the new season, but turn it off right after they get married.
Spoiler alert!
Just turn it off. I'm not going to say more. There's a wedding.
If anyone gets married,
If
turn it off
it
right
off.
after.
You're done. That's the end of the series.
Yes.
I refuse to believe anything happened after that.
I mean, the movie was hard enough to swallow. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Wasn't up to the standards of the original series, but it was fine. And then the new season, we were like...
The new season is brought to you by pizza.
Yeah.
Because they talk about pizza so much. So
much.
Yeah. But yeah, so here's the funny thing. Like, so I my Plex server, I do some stuff so that I can watch shows.
She does all kinds of stuff.
I do. Anyway, I recorded that episode and I shut it off after the wedding.
And now it ends
so
at the
my version
place.
ends after the wedding.
So great.
Yes. So yeah, Veronica Mars, totally recommend that.
Superstore is really, really good.
Oh, I haven't watched that. I've meant to, but I have not.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's really good. And I did watch Dollface, and I was not here for it.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it all the way through. I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes, but I had a hard time getting through it. So if you guys like Dollface, please tell me to push through. Please don't tell me to push through 3 seasons. Yeah. Not sure I could do it.
Similarly, I started Blockbuster.
Oh.
And
how is it?
I didn't finish the first episode. Like
yeah.
It has so much potential. But I feel like it really falls short. I mean, it's got Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
who
her.
I love. And Raymond Park, who he's in other stuff, but I forget what he's in. Maybe Fresh Off the Boat? No, I don't know.
I haven't seen that either.
Anyway,
I'm really behind.
Cast is really great, but I feel like they either should have set it in the 90s.
Yeah, probably.
Or because they set it now.
Which doesn't make sense.
Where it's the last Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And if they were going to set it now at the last Blockbuster, they should set it in Bend, Oregon, which is where the actual last Blockbuster is.
Oh, I see.
So, right off the bat, I'm kind of like,
yeah. Made some interesting choices.
Yeah, interesting choices. I really liked the idea, but I think it's falling short.
I frequently see something like that where it's like, you had good bones here.
Yeah.
But
it could have been so good.
Yeah. And I wonder if the bones were created by somebody else and then somebody else took it and was like, yeah. And
right.
made a lot of nonsensical choices for those bones.
I could see that.
Yeah.
On Hulu, did you have any more?
No.
Okay.
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You. Only 1 season, 10 years ago.
Oh, I haven't not watched that.
10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah,
I love the movie.
It's on our list. We're going to do it on our podcast.
But
good. 1 season, and it's so good. You just trust me on this.
Okay. Well, I'll have to save it, though, until we do it on the podcast, because that's even more fun.
Yes.
But so on Hulu also has Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, the animated series. And I highly recommend that. And that's what we're in the middle of recording for our podcast. And eventually we'll finish
it. Sarah, remember, she got hurt.
And also we have children. So.
And
things.
There's things.
Things and school.
And I haven't been able to bring myself, because I think I messed up the audio in the last episodes that we recorded. And so I haven't brought myself to watch.
I think there's only 6 episodes. So redoing it is... not a problem.
Right. On Hulu, though, for me, The Thing About Pam. I don't know if you've watched this.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Okay.
The Thing About Pam. It's about this actual so if you like.
Is this a newer one?
Yeah, it's fairly new. If you like real crime, drama stuff, you will love The Thing About Pam. So it's about this murder that took place. This lady, Betsy Ferreira, got murdered, and her husband was convicted of the crime, but like the evidence did not point to him. Like he had an alibi, he had a receipt, like of that where he was not near there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it does end up like you do find out who did it, but it's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy town.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I did just watch. Isn't this? I did just finish Only Murders in the Building. That's
Hulu, that's Hulu. Yeah, yeah. That is so good.
Phenomenal. Lots and lots of F words, I will warn you. And
yes,
I typically don't mind language if you can use it well.
Yes.
And it's not used well 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling like it's the first time the actors have said it, and several times it is.
Sure.
And I also don't like when you just sprinkle in F words, because it feels like you wrote a really nice episode and somebody was like, put some F words in there. And
right.
you were like, here's an F word and here's an F word. You know, like
it's not necessary. It doesn't like drive the plot.
I mean, it's like if you text with exclamation points at the end of every sentence, it starts to not make any sense.
Right.
And it starts to kind of feel abrasive to people. They're like, why are you shouting all the time?
Why are you so excited about everything?
Okay.
Yeah, I love Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders is so good.
So good. I mean, excellent cast. Got Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
And they're
so good.
They're what's the word I'm looking for? Their
chemistry
is kind of incredible.
So good.
I've never seen in a TV show a really well done chemistry like that between multiple people. Usually it's just between two people. Mm-hmm. These two people have good chemistry, and also these two people have chemistry, and maybe one of them is the same, but like the three of them together, that's rare. And they did really well with that on Only Murders in the Building. And it takes some very good twists and turns.
It does. And like some really good, like where you're like, oh, this is totally the answer. And then like pulls the rug out from you. And you're like, oh my gosh, that wasn't the answer. Like, so it's super unpredictable, which is what I really like about it. Because like when you think, I'm like, okay, like I've seen enough TV, I've seen enough shows where I know where this is going. And it's like, nope, you are so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of older movies, like Sarah said. And so Steve Martin, Martin Short, awesome.
Right.
But Shirley MacLaine is also in season 2. And she's
so good. Well, and Nathan Lane is in it.
Nathan Lane, yes, he's incredible.
So good.
Yeah.
Sting.
Yes, Sting playing himself, fantastic.
So good. Yeah. So I love that. Good job for remembering that, because I did not have that.
We just finished that, and we loved it.
Yeah, so good. And then if you guys have any things you gotta recommend as well, go ahead and put those in the comments.
Oh, and the older ones, Raising Hope and My Name is Earl.
So good. Raising Hope and My Name is Earl. I'm the one that told you.
My Name is Earl first, and then Raising Hope.
Yeah.
Just do it that way. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just do it.
Yeah, because they're in this, like, basically
they're
the
sort
same
of in
city,
the same universe
area,
and sort of not, because also they use the same background people, but they're always different people.
But they're different people. Like, it's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Virginiaisms are the best.
There's like a whole season or two in the middle where Virginia calls Sabrina.
Yeah.
And then she just stops. Like, she just started one day and then she just stopped one day, and we were like, what is happening? Why did she call her Sabrina? Like, it was amazing.
So good. Martha Plimpton, like
Goonies.
Yeah. So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's love.
A great show.
We actually were watching something the other day and Bert came on. Oh, Dead to Me. Oh, I forgot to talk about Dead to Me on Netflix.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
You haven't watched Dead to Me? So good. Well, Linda Cardellini and Christina Applegate.
Love her.
Yes.
Okay.
And James Marsden.
Sold.
James Marsden.
James Marsden is always a win. I love him.
Oh my gosh. It's so good because they just dropped the last season.
James Marsden is quite possibly one of the most underrated actors. Like, I feel like everyone loves him, but nobody ever remembers him.
Yeah. Until Chris Evans, James Marsden was my movie boyfriend. Like, And I mean, so he's still number 2
Even
in my
you
heart.
dumped James Marsden.
I know, right? Everybody dumps James Marsden. Poor guy.
He never gets the girl.
I dumped James Marsden for Chris Evans. I'm sorry.
James Marsden.
But yes, I love James Marsden. Like, love James Marsden.
He's great.
So that's on Netflix.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
They also have language. Like, they say the F word quite a bit, but
yeah, and
it's a
Only
great
Murders in the Building.
yeah.
The language is it. Everything else is so clean.
Yeah.
So clean. Without the F words, you would never, like, total PG show, which
Totally.
is probably why the network was like, sprinkle in some F words.
Sprinkles.
Because we don't want this to be like a
Yeah.
PG show. I don't know
Yeah.
why studios are so scared of PG shows.
Right.
To me, it just widens your audience.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
So also on Hulu, Welcome to Wrexham. Like, speaking of F words, Welcome to Wrexham
Speaking of F words.
is also like littered with F words, but it takes place in England for the most part.
Okay.
And they use the F word like
Sure.
like it's nothing. So it's not as
It's not
jarring.
the same deal as it is in the States. I get that.
Right. And so when they say it, it's not like, it doesn't feel as harsh
Sure.
as like in older Only Murders in the Building. But with Welcome to Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. So Rob McElhenney is from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Okay.
which also all seasons are on Hulu. Also a terrible show, but so good.
I haven't watched it yet, but knowing it's on Hulu, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get right on that.
Gotta-
Add it to my list.
Yeah. So
Dead to me. It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
yeah. Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny, and It's Always Sunny is like Seinfeld, but worse. Like, these are just the worst people in the world.
Okay.
And you're just like, oh my gosh, you guys are all terrible, terrible people.
Okay.
But yeah, so Rob McElhenney from getting back to Welcome to Wrexham, I promise. And Ryan Reynolds, this is like documentary style. They legit bought a soccer team in Wales. And it's like their journey of like trying to get this football team promoted to the higher league. Like,
interesting.
yeah, it's so good. Like, and I'm not a huge like soccer person, although like now I follow Wrexham football. Like on my Google, I get alerts like when they win and stuff like that.
I don't sports, but I did play soccer a lot as a kid. So
Yeah.
soccer is one of the more interesting ones for me to watch.
Yeah. So this would be super interesting for you. So
Yeah.
because like in England, the football leagues, like, so here we have like the NFL, and then it's just like the NFL, right? And everybody plays and whatever. But in England, like they have the Premier League, and then they have like another league, and then like another league, I think, and then the National League. So this Wrexham team has been in the bottom league for like 10 years. And it's very difficult to get out of that bottom league. And so it's like this whole journey of like what they're doing to like
Interesting.
try
I like
and
that.
get them promoted. So
I did read a book once where I'm into really cheesy rom-com books, but the main guy was
she got me into really cheesy rom-com books.
I might have a new series for you.
Oh,
I'll let you know.
Good,
It's a
because I really liked
Christmas
the
series.
last one.
It's a Christmas series.
Even
Yeah.
better.
Anyway,
I'm like, is my
the main
cheesy
guy
rom-com
in this book it took place in England. Was a soccer player.
Oh, okay. Football player.
And he
I have
had,
a great British accent. If you...
He had games like 3 times a week, and I was like, dude, this is so many games. I learned so much about football, European football, that I was like, wow, weird. That's actually one of the things I love about cheesy romances is that I learn about a lot of different professions.
See, it's so great. Princes in random countries.
I know all about princes in fake countries. Also, werewolves. Know a lot about werewolves.
As you would. Yeah, so Welcome to Wrexham, so good. And the beginning of it is so funny because there's Rob McElhenney, and he's like, so I wanted to do this thing, and I have TV money, but I needed movie money. And then he's like, and then they show like a picture of Ryan Reynolds, in like a movie. And then they're like, not only that, I needed superhero money. And then they show him as Deadpool. And then they're like,
Not Green Lantern?
Yeah. Actually, I think they might have put like Green Lantern and Deadpool, but for sure Deadpool.
Awesome.
And then like, I really needed like alcohol money because he has like his own
Yeah, he
alcohol
does.
and everything. And so it like shows like all of this stuff that like Ryan Reynolds is involved in and everything. He's like, so I had to reach out to Ryan Reynolds. Like, but it's so good. Love Welcome to Wrexham. Definitely check it out. Last one I want to mention on Hulu is Dope Sick.
I have not even heard of this.
Yeah, and so this is Michael Keaton, who is amazing.
So fantastic.
And it's about the Oxycontin like epidemic, basically, like the opioid epidemic. And like kind of how this one drug company that was selling Oxycontin really like created that epidemic, and like all the stuff that they did wrong, basically. Wow, and like, so it's not a documentary, it's like it's a drama, but it like basically tells the story and is so good. And having just gone through surgery and gotten prescribed oxycodone,
and
like,
I've had many surgeries, so I've had that a lot.
It was super fascinating to watch. I mean, obviously I'm off my oxycodone by now, but
I almost never take a full bottle.
No, and
I take
neither
it
do
for like
I.
2 days and then I don't.
Yeah, and I even got to the point where like I said, I felt like I was like really strong, but and so I'm like, I took it for like a couple days and I'm like, I'm good, you know, and like I literally was like up at night like bawling because it hurt so bad, and then I'm finally like, fine, I'll take another one.
Oh, man.
It hurt so bad, but like because it was too soon. It was too soon for me, but
that's funny.
Yeah, but I'm off it now. But
We're
Dope
doing
Sick,
fine.
yeah,
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. And it was like, and so they talk about the milligram strength of the Oxycontin in the show, and so I was like, what milligrams am I on? And I'm like, 5 milligrams, and it's like nothing. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Anyway, so yeah, Dope Sick on Hulu. Super fantastic. Okay. Are we done with Hulu?
Yes.
Okay. What's next? Should we just go Disney Plus? Because
let's do Disney Plus.
Okay.
Since they go hand in hand.
And like they kind of go together.
Mandalorian was great. Obi-Wan was
good.
Great.
Yes.
I have not watched Andor yet.
Okay.
And I'll be real, every time Brian brings it up, I go, what is that?
Yeah. What's that one again?
Listen. I'm a fair weather Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't mind Star Wars. I even like it a little. I don't watch it that often. Not super into Star Wars.
She's not immersed in the Star Wars universe.
Which is unfortunate.
Is what she's trying to say to everybody.
Which is unfortunate because my 1-year-old has a baby Grogu about this big that she takes everywhere with her.
That's adorable.
She found it in the store and she wouldn't let it go.
That's adorable.
So of course we bought it for her.
Yeah.
And now she won't go anywhere without it.
Well.
She yells Grogu when we leave the house without it. Grogu! It's like her first word, Grogu.
Works. It's fine.
So, you know, that'll be fun for Brian.
Is this Lizzie?
Yeah. Lizzie, the baby that flipped me off all the time.
I was going to say, this is the baby that would like flip her off.
Yeah, all the time. She would reach over and grab her blanket with one finger, subtly flipping me off all the time. Millions of pictures of her sleeping and flipping me off.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
so the Star Wars ones.
The Marvel
good.
ones.
The Marvel ones.
I did watch the first episode of She-Hulk and I was not a fan.
I have not watched that.
Brian pushed through.
Okay.
And he said it gets better.
Okay. Interesting.
What we weren't a fan of, actually, was the character.
Okay.
Not the writing or the way it was done or anything. All good ideas. All good plot, everything like that. She was just kind of a mismatch. Not like her at all.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
So I was like, I have a hard time rooting for you.
Yeah.
You're kind of a jerk.
So my ranking of the Marvel ones, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. I liked WandaVision the best.
Love WandaVision. Yeah.
And then Captain America and Winter Soldier.
That one's good. A little more gore than most Marvel movies, though, so you should be aware of that.
And then third place, Loki.
Loki's really good.
Yeah. I liked Loki, but like it's a little too out there for me. Like,
there were a lot of things I liked about Loki.
Yeah.
For instance, where has Owen Wilson been hiding that acting talent?
yeah, right?
Like his whole
Owen
life.
Wilson is fantastic in that show.
Do you mean you could just do this the
Yeah.
whole time? Like, I was like, what is happening right now? You're like
You
50
could have been
years
good.
old. You've been famous for how long?
That kills me.
Just busted that out at 50 years old. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know, but he should definitely do more serious roles.
Yeah. No,
Like,
he's great.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
And the girl in Loki too.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is.
I don't know
She was
either.
also awesome.
She was great. Yeah. The other Loki.
Yeah, the girl Loki.
Girl Loki.
I don't know what her name is, but okay. Yeah, that's probably the same order for me.
Yeah.
One of the things I loved most about Captain America and the Winter Soldier was the bromance between Bucky and what's his face? Falcon, whatever his name is.
And no. I'm like, Andy? No.
It starts with an A, right?
It does. I feel like it does. If you know, please put it in the comments.
We are also apparently fair weather Marvel fans. That's true though. I'm a much bigger DC fan.
Andy Mackie or something Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
There it is.
Got it. Nailed it.
Got it.
Did you guys?
Anthony Mackie, yes.
Yes. Yes, so good.
I am
Love
a
that
sucker
romance.
for a good bromance.
Yeah,
so,
those are fun.
which we will bring up later.
Ah! So excited. Yeah, so Marvel, I also have there is a docuseries on Disney Plus that is called The Imagineering Story. As a huge Disney fanatic, this was like my favorite thing ever.
What is it called?
The Imagineering Story.
Okay.
And it basically takes you through the building of Disneyland and Disney World and
Cool.
like Tokyo Disney and all of this stuff. Like it
Okay,
was so
cool.
good. Like, and I'm not a bucket list person, but after watching this, there is one thing on my bucket list, and that is to visit every Disney park.
My brother-in-law works for Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
So he would probably also enjoy that. I don't know if
Yes.
he's seen it, but I'm going to recommend it to him.
It's super good. So yeah, The Imagineering Story. I loved it on Disney Plus.
That's great.
Another Christmas movie on Disney Plus, Noel. So
I
good.
still need to watch it.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, it's on my
It's
list.
so good.
It's on my list. I have a good list.
It's so good. Well, I love her from like Pitch Perfect. And it's just a good story.
I've heard good things about Secret of Sulphur Springs.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah.
I've heard good things.
We've heard good things about Secret of Sulphur Springs.
Take that for what it's worth. You don't know me or the people telling me it's good, so I don't know. I think that's all I have for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They do have some good old ones on there. Like if you were a fan of Disney Channel,
yeah.
They don't have a lot of the Disney Channel original movies.
They have some though.
They do have some.
Yeah.
You can buy a lot of them for like $5 on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And I have.
And
Got
I
several of
have.
Which maybe we should move to Sarah's Plex.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Anyway. But they have one in particular that is hard to find. Is So Weird.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that show?
Mm-hmm.
Eric Von Detten.
Yeah.
When he was quite young.
Yeah.
It was a very good show, and I think about it all the time. But yeah, you can watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that's a really fun one.
That is fun. Also, Disney Plus just started the Santa Clauses.
Oh, and I'm excited for that.
So I've watched the first 3 episodes so
Okay.
far.
I didn't watch the third movie, but I heard the third one was not great.
Is it the one with Martin Short?
Martin Short,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
I love
I
Martin Short.
know.
Why does he do things that are beneath him?
I dig the third movie, but the TV show so far, I'm not loving.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Stay posted.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll see. I haven't made my decision on it yet. Anything else on Disney Plus?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay. What else we got?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime has Downton Abbey and Poldark, which I was super excited about.
Yes, and if you're really into crying in the middle of the day, I highly recommend both of those.
Definitely.
Poldark, which I might bring up again later.
Okay.
Poldark.
I haven't finished.
Really
Poldark
had
yet.
me for a while, and then I started to get really sad.
Yeah. I'm like in season 3 of
I
Poldark.
can finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like in season 3, but it was my running show, so I would watch it while I was on the treadmill,
Yeah.
and because I was training for marathons, and so it's like an hour-long show. I haven't seen it, so I can run for an hour on the treadmill. But with the shoulder, I stopped training, so I haven't continued Poldark yet. But
yeah, but it's good.
It is good
as far as I've gotten.
Yeah, same.
Sad, but
same.
good.
Yes.
I
like if you want to cry in the middle of the
Rings
day.
of Power is
okay. I watched the first episode and I'm not sold yet.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you, because I'm not a big Tolkien fan.
No, I love Lord of the Rings. I don't like the Hobbit movies.
I'm okay with Tolkien.
Yeah.
Like Tolkien and I are acquaintances at best. It took me 3 or 4 tries to read The Hobbit without falling asleep. And that's The Hobbit.
I would say that's me watching the Hobbit movies.
I don't mind the Hobbit movies, but they're on the same plane as Lord of the Rings for me. Honestly, it's a very long, involved story, and
I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a fantastic.
But Rings of Power is interesting. First of all, it's way more cinematically beautiful than any other Tolkien thing out there. And if you're really into really beautifully shot things, it's gorgeous. The design is gorgeous. Everything is great.
Yeah.
The acting is great. The girl who is supposed to be basically young Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Galadriel.
She looks a lot like Kate Blanchett. I don't know if it's like her daughter or something, but my gosh.
The casting was on point.
Yeah. Long lost Kate Blanchett daughter.
Nice.
Casting is super on point.
Nice.
What I will say is this, though. I like it, but I'm not driven to watch the next episode.
Sure.
My husband is driven to watch the next episode, so I watch it when he wants to. But part of the problem, I think, is that with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, you're following one storyline.
Right.
And with this one, you're following many storylines that I assume will all converge at some point.
That makes sense.
But they go too long.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, we'll be following one storyline for so long, and then they'll switch, and I'll be like, completely forgot about you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a thing that was happening. I totally forgot about you.
Yeah.
Like, and it just takes too long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't know that there's a better way to do it, because there's so much to be told.
Yeah.
In these different storylines, and it's all, I think, going to be very important information. So I don't think there's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless you made each season about each particular story.
Sure.
And then made a final season about them converging.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that.
I just think that would be easier to follow.
Yeah.
Because frequently I'm like, oh yeah, what were you guys doing? I forgot. You were in the middle of...
Right.
And it's just too long.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things they've done really well.
Yeah.
And my husband loves it. He's a super Lord of the Rings fan.
Sure. Well, there's
I don't know. Stick with it. See what you think. But,
yeah. That's Prime.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's Prime. I have been wanting to watch Jack Ryan, but I haven't.
I watched the first episode of Jack Ryan, but I haven't continued yet.
No good, huh?
I mean, it was fine.
Jack Ryan, I think.
Oh, wait. No, maybe it was Reacher that I watched.
Good Lord. It's so hard to keep them straight.
Yeah.
I think it was Jack Ryan that they made the pilot episode, and they spent all this money on making the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And they sold it to Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime said, start over. we don't like that pilot episode. And I was like, oof, that's rough.
That's ouch.
And as somebody who has written for TV, I feel like, yikes.
Yeah.
So where do you go? Like,
Yikes.
you don't want to spend a whole ton of money on your pilot because what if they just make you redo it?
Right.
But that was one of the ones where they spent like a lot on the pilot.
Yeah.
And anyway. Heard good things about The Boys.
The Boys, I have not watched that. Yeah.
Old classics like Burn Notice and Psych and Monk are all on Amazon Prime. So those are
good. Psych is great.
The whole USA golden era. I feel like you're trying to hit me in the head.
I'm circling Psych.
Are you? Can't see it. You can see it in the. You can see it in the.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Instagram too.
Yeah. Those are the golden era of USA.
Yeah, for sure. They've got those on
stuff.
Prime.
That's all I had on.
On Prime, The Terminal List. This is Chris Pratt in a dramatic role. It's so good. One season, and like he plays this Navy SEAL, and like so good.
Okay.
Like there's like 10 episodes. Like you power through that. Like I mean, you don't have to power through because you'll want to like
because it's
watch.
Chris Pratt.
It's Chris Pratt. Like, but it's a little harsh. Like there's some killing going on. Yeah. Terminal List. This is like the people he needs
Navy
to kill.
SEAL, so
yeah.
That makes sense.
The Terminal List is the people he needs to kill, basically. Okay. So there's a lot of killing, but so good, and that's on Prime.
Man on the High Castle.
Oh, I watched the first season of that. That was another one of those where I really liked the first season, and then by the time the second season came out, I was over it.
I stopped watching it because emotionally it was very hard for me, and we honestly just stopped watching dramas in general because we were at a very stressful part of our lives, and we were like,
when it's a little too close to home, and you're like, I can't do drama right now.
Yeah, it just when your reprieve at night is just as stressful as your daytime life, it's not helpful.
No.
So we just went into comedies. So we had watched Raising Hope and My Name is Earl, and we watched Big Bang Theory for a while, and then we went to Only Murders in the Building.
Right. Great.
It's kind of an interesting in between.
Yeah.
Sort of a dramatic comedy, but I've never seen that in a 22-minute format.
Yeah. It's great though.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a Terminal List. Or I mean
Man in the High Castle was really good as far as I got. I didn't ever finish it, but
yeah, I finished season 1. And then, like I said, like it was a while before season 2 was coming out, and I lost interest. But it was good. Yeah. All right. Anything else for Prime?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I think the last one we want to touch on, unless you have another one, is Apple TV.
Apple TV. I don't really watch Apple TV. My husband does. He loves Ted Lasso.
I was gonna say the main one is Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
You gotta watch Ted Lasso.
I watched the first episode. I just haven't finished it. But we did just take like a break to Only Murders in the Building.
Right.
It was like 20 episodes, so we were like, just.
And if you like Welcome to Wrexham, you'll love Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso looks really fun. So
yeah, again with the F words, but again it's
England,
and so it's not as harsh. Yeah. But I mean, there will be.
But some people can't deal with that, and I get
lots of F words in Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Anything else on Apple TV you've got?
No.
So the ones I've got is The Morning Show. This is Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. It's drama for sure, drama.
Is that Steve Carell?
Which it's so funny because Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, and Steve Carell,
all very funny people.
Drama, like. Yeah.
That's
it's
very
so crazy, but it is really good. Again, they use the F word more than I would like. It's not like where I'm excusing it because it's in England. Like it feels more like Only Murders in the Building. Sure. But yes, excellent drama. Another kind of funny one that I just powered through is Schmigadoon, and it's Key, like
Key and Peele.
Yeah. And Cecily Strong.
Key? Is that his name?
Something like that, yeah. And Cecily Strong And
Cecily Strong.
she's in Saturday Night Live and stuff like when you see her picture, you would be like
Cecily. I know who she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You have to watch.
She had to go quote and then
Sorry. No, you have to.
That's sad. It turned off because it was an hour long.
Oh, that is sad.
We still love you here on YouTube, though.
You have to watch the Saturday Night Live Back Home Ballers. Have you seen that?
Oh, I don't think
Oh
I
my
have.
gosh, it's a song that all the girls on Saturday Night Live did with Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
And it's all about how they get treated like queens when they go home for Thanksgiving. Our parents are real happy to see us. It's so good. But they all introduce themselves, and Cecily goes, Cecily. That's my favorite. So when you said Saturday Night Live, I was like, oh, Cecily.
Cecily.
I got it.
I'm tagging you. I'm going to share that, and then we'll go back live when we're ready for your announcement.
Yay.
Anyway, the last one. So anyway, Schmigadoon, they get lost in this town that is just basically a musical. And so there's like all these.
Have you watched Brigadoon?
Well, yeah, like so it's just like that. Like, and so it's funny. Like they are just lost in this like
Love
musical. That. So it was pretty fun. But
that's on Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah, Schmigadoon.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about was Zoe's on Netflix.
Oh, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good. You gotta watch
that.
That's
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Definitely check out Zoe's.
We keep coming back to Netflix.
I know.
There's so many good ones.
So speaking of, which of all the streaming services, if you could only pick one, which one would you pick?
So there's probably more that I would watch more often on Hulu.
Yeah. Same.
I honestly don't watch that many shows. And when I do watch one, I just buy it on Vudu.
Right. Same.
So a lot of my favorites are just on Vudu and I just watch them when I want to.
Yeah.
I do really want to get Paramount Plus just for the iCarly reboot. I'm a huge iCarly fan. So I'm curious about it. I just haven't watched it yet.
My son, so she let me borrow some of these things that round out the whole.
Oh yeah, there's the iCarly remote.
Exactly. My son uses that iCarly remote so much. Like I'll be like, no, I'm not going to give you any more time. He'll do the boo.
Yes, Sam's remote. I really wish there was a way to make a better version of Sam's remote because she programs all kinds of different sounds and stuff into it depending on what their episode does. I wish there was a more practical way to have a Sam's remote because I love it.
All right, so I'm gonna start up.
All right.
Oh, should I just put it back up there?
Yeah, put it
back. Start up YouTube Live again one more time. That's dumb that it cuts you off at an hour. So pardon for 2 seconds.
Sorry, we chat a lot.
Yeah.
We're chatty boxes.
Yeah. All right. So we are back on Instagram Live because Bryn has an awesome announcement to make. So take it away, Bryn.
You should follow Austin University because
actually I'm gonna put that up on a banner here.
Yes. Because what we are doing is we have written the first season and some of the second season of a TV show that is Jane Austen based, and it's all of her works put into one TV show, and it's modernized and in America. That's where we are.
So it's not in England.
It's not
and
in
it's
England.
not taking place way
We
back
did write
when.
some of the characters to be British still, though.
Oh, fun.
But what we are planning to do is in February or March, I'm not sure we've picked exactly what day, we are launching our crowdfunding campaign, and that we will be funding the first episode. And then once we film the first episode, which will take place sometime next summer, we have a producer who can shop it around to different studios, because since COVID, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but since COVID, selling a TV show has changed.
Interesting. I did not know this.
It was already kind of going this way, but because of COVID, it kind of just definitely like made the drop this way. So studios want 1 or 2 episodes of a finished product to put up and test. And then if they like it, then they'll buy it.
Interesting.
And pay for a whole season. So.
Interesting.
We have a producer that we're working with, so she can help us get it sold. We just have to do the crowdfunding and then film the pilot episode next summer.
So awesome. So she's been working on this for a long time. Like
9 years.
When I first met her, she told me about this idea and I'm like, I love it. I want to see this show today.
Yes.
Can I see the TV show today?
Yes.
So a TV show for all of the Austen books, all mingled together.
You get to see them be friends. You get to see them go through their ups and downs together.
So you were saying a bromance.
Yes, bromance is a big part of our show because that is a big deal to the 3 of us. I actually have 2 writing partners, Carrie Marie Iros. She has written a few books for, I think they're at Deseret Book. I don't remember who the publishing company is. Anyway, Covenant. I think it's Covenant Publishing. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, and Chantel Magistro. They're my 2 best friends. And a few years ago, we hired a writing coach. And she has been amazing, Angie Fenimore. And she has Calliope writing. And she will do private coaching. And she does all kinds of courses that you learn. And it's fantastic stuff. She has retreats that you can go on, writers' retreats, and it's very, very fun. She's amazing. But she has told us that she's never seen a writing partnership that worked as well as we do.
Nice.
And we are even to the point where one of us will make a change in an episode and we'll read it, months later or whatever, and we will just laugh and we'll be like, who wrote this? And like, we have no idea. Honestly, we sound the same when we write.
That's awesome.
So we can't tell who wrote what, or frequently they'll be like, that was you,
like, you wrote that. Well, I was hilarious.
Yeah.
I knew I was so funny.
So it's just been a really crazy ride, but it's going to be so much fun. And it's going to be definitely something you're going to want to be a part of. Right now we're posting a lot of Austen content, reels and
it's funny stuff.
Very, very
you guys
fun.
Are doing good.
So you're going to want to follow us. So on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, we're at Austen University. And on Twitter, it's Austen Universe because Austen University was too long.
Like,
so
trying to cover up the E.
So start following us, and then we are in the middle of our first round of casting. So we're casting our leads. Our callbacks are going to be Monday the 28th. So hopefully we'll have, a Lizzie, a Darcy, people like that you can meet, and we will have a whole bunch of content with them that'll be super, super fun. So
yeah, so cool. All 6 books, 6, right?
And some other stuff.
And
some other stuff she wrote.
Mingled together.
Yes.
So much fun. So if you ever wondered what Lizzie Bennet would be like friends with Emma.
Well, Emma's friends with everyone.
Well,
Emma's the campus queen.
See?
So, yes.
Yeah. So I am so excited about this project. I think it's going to be super awesome.
Yes. The bromances are a big part. They obviously don't come into play right in season 1, but there are some good later moments we've already written for episodes we haven't written. Just we've written these scenes with these guys, and they're so fun because we've spent so long cultivating their personalities to exactly what they are that we know what they would say in any given situation. And so we think of situations to put them in, especially the guys, because it's funny.
Yeah.
And once you just put them in that situation, you're like, I know exactly how this conversation would go down.
Yeah.
But it's been a very fun project, and we're really excited to share it with everybody. So keep an eye out for that.
Hooray! Okay, and with that, we will end our super long stream.
Oh, the
Oh.
other things I was going to bring up.
Just
Remember,
kidding.
I said I was going to bring up.
Yeah. Sorry. She's got stuff to bring up.
What's his name? Tanner Buchanan. So we've made a dream team of actors in our deck, and I love Tanner Buchanan for Edmund from Mansfield Park, and so I just want you to mull that over.
Cobra Kai.
Tanner Buchanan
as
Edmund from Mansfield Park. You're gonna love it.
From Mansfield
and
Park.
Also Edmund and Fanny from Mansfield Park are big Poldark fans.
Nice.
So they watch Poldark together a lot.
Oh, I love
kind of a fun thing for them.
That's so cute. I love it.
There is a texting conversation between them on our Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And TikTok.
Yeah.
Where they talk about Poldark.
That's
so
awesome.
You can go check that out. It's just
I am actually going to go
fun
look
little
that
preview
up
into their personalities.
That is awesome. So excited. Definitely follow Austin University for all the details. It's going to be super awesome. Like I said, 5 years ago or however long ago we met.
It was a long time.
When I saw, or like when she told me about it, I was like, I want to watch this show so bad.
This is a reaction I get from like all females.
Right.
Quite honestly. They're always like, why isn't that a thing already?
Yeah.
I'm like, good question.
Great.
Let me just ask those studios why they haven't given me any money yet.
Yeah. Exactly. So, all right, we'll go ahead and end it there. Let us know in the comments if we missed one of your favorite shows or anything like that, that we should have watched or recommended to everybody. Yes. And we will end it there. So thank you guys for coming. I am switching up my lives. I'm no longer going to be doing them on Fridays. I'm going to do them on Thursdays at 1 p.m. So check me out back here again. Hopefully next Thursday at 1 p.m. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
And the